happened to her. And education, I think we've got a lot of lessons, to learn from Jill. Now, here's just something that I want you to just think about, if you will, because I think you've all got these kinds of problems. Not perhaps as severe as this, but can you imagine, I've always been very interested, not just in improving my classroom, but also, the social context in which I work. I've been fascinated. Can I help to improve the quality of life in the School of Education where I work? Can I even, more so than that, it's quite ambitious, can I really influence the quality of life in the university? Can I contribute to that quality of life? Now, here are some of the judgments that have been made on my contributions. This was 76. You've not given satisfaction in the teaching of prescribed courses. Absence of evidence to suggest you've pursued research of sufficient quality. And this is the one that you've exhibited forms of behaviour which have harmed the good order and morale of the School of Education. Do you like that one? That, yes, in writing from Senate to me, saying that I wouldn't be getting a tenured contract. Now, as you see, in 2008, I'm still there. So you can imagine some people external to the university acted in a way that protected my contract. Yeah, that is a very serious. You can see that if the university carries that out, I would have lost the job. Now, I really wanted to extend my influence for good in the university, and this is what was actually said. This was about 1987. It goes up to the present day. So I'm clearly getting more influential because it's not just the School of Education, right? It's that my activities and writings are a challenge to the present organisation of the university. So I've actually upped the ante here, clearly. This is evidence that, yes, it's not quite the influence I wish to have, but it's acknowledged. I've definitely been having an influence. Now, just in terms of the power of the university and the academic judgments 20-odd years ago. Now, I put 2 doctoral submissions in 1882. They were different because I was refused permission to submit and resubmit the first one, which is very unusual in university life. But this is the phrase that got me. Once the examiners have been appointed, their competence cannot in any circumstances be questioned. Right? Now, under human rights legislation, the university had to change that in 1991 to allow criticism to be made on the grounds of bias, prejudice, inadequate assessment. But I just want to show you, that these are real power relations that have been part of my own life as an academic. And I won't have time to show you the video clip that I've put. I'll just show it's there. But what happened was that letter saying that my activities and writings had challenged the present and proper order of the university went to a board of studies who said, look, this is prima facie evidence of a breach of Jack's academic freedom. Senate set up a working party to look into it, and I was invited to address the working party as they gave me their conclusion, which was that my academic freedom hadn't been breached. Right? So that was their conclusion. Now, they were right, because it hadn't been breached. But when I went in front of that working party, and I do hope at some point you'll just glance at this, it's only a couple of minutes, that clip there. But it's where I address that working party with all, you'll feel it, I think, the energy and the passion of how they would be denying their responsibilities as academics if they had not recognised the pressure to which I'd been subjected. Now, to do them justice, the report that went to Senate did say that my academic, there it says, the working party did not find my academic freedom to be breached. This was because of my persistence in the face of pressure. I love that phrase, I still use it. A less determined individual might well have been discouraged and therefore constrained. Now, I imagine you've all felt yourselves at times this energy-sapping lack of recognition, within your workplaces, and you've all had to draw on those reserves of courage and passion to keep seeing you through. And it's that kind of resilience which I think we should be bringing into, our accounts of what we do. Now, I'll just draw this now to a close because I don't want to go on longer than necessary. But what I want, I just mentioned this last point because this is the one that it's taken me 2 years to work out a reasonable response to this. Right. Now, most of you who know my work will know that I've been criticising the refereed journals and the international refereed journals for the points that I've given you, that you can't communicate what I've been talking about using words on pages of text. So, I put him for a readership, and that's not even a professorship, that's just a readership in a UK university 2 years ago, on the urging of my colleagues. Because after I got tenure in '76, so many people had passionately fought for me. I didn't want to break the tenured contract, so I'd never gone for promotion because you have to break the tenured contract. But 2 years ago, I was persuaded that the university's recognition of living educational theory would actually serve the interest of spreading the ideas further, so I put in for a readership. And the committee decided that for me to get a readership, I had to develop, right, look at this, I had to focus on producing articles which can be disseminated via established and renowned international referee journals. Right? Now, I'm saying that that is my reality. I'm hoping that you feel that I'm actually channeling my energy in a creative way as we're here, and that you don't feel that kind of rage that when I got that, you know, you can imagine, can't you, and what it does. And I imagine everyone here has gone through that kind of, you know, you could kill people, basically. But I think my colleagues have felt that at some points, you know. But you've got to channel it, I think. So when you go into a classroom next day, the students are actually feeling your love and your passion for what you're doing in education. And that's why I just want to finish with just coming back to those images. And I think it is that image there of the kids, or, yeah, as they're there and they're just talking, and I can move just along, and you feel there is something there. You know, when I look at those statements made about me and that, and then you look here at what really matters, it does feel to me that if we can combine our voices, you know, through generating our own living theories, but acknowledging that we're in those living boundaries of cultures in resistance, that we will increase the kind of influence that we have and serve the interest of those pupils. So I'll stop there, but thank you very much indeed for having me back.